You begin as an egg, sealed inside a narrow wax cell. There is no movement, no awareness, just a fixed position among thousands of others arranged in perfect symmetry. After 3 days, your body softens and reshapes into a larva. You lie curled at the bottom of the cell while worker bees lower their heads and feed you without pause. By day 9, the opening above you is closed. The light disappears and your body breaks down and reforms into something else. On day 21, you are complete. Your legs press against the walls and your mandibles cut through the wax cap sealing you inside. It takes time, but eventually the surface gives way. You pull yourself out and step into the hive for the first time, surrounded by constant motion. Bees move past you in every direction, brushing against your body without stopping. No one reacts to your arrival and no one guides you. You start working immediately. Your first task is to remove what does not belong. Not far from where you stand, a cell holds a larva that never finished developing. Its body is pale, curled, and partially fused to the wax. You reach in, grip it, and pull until it comes free. The surface stretches slightly before giving way. You hold it beneath you and begin moving toward the entrance, navigating through the narrow gaps of the comb. When you reach the edge, you take off and carry the body away from the hive before dropping it onto the ground. Then you turn back, re-enter the structure, and continue. By day 4, your role shifts without warning. The glands in your head have developed, and now you move through the brood chamber as a nurse. You stop at each cell, lowering your head toward the larvae inside. Their bodies are small, pale, and constantly moving, curled into the base of the wax. When their mouths open, you press your glands forward and release a soft mixture of pollen and nectar and enzymes. You feed them one by one, moving in a steady rhythm that does not break. Some cells are different. They are larger, shaped unevenly, and spaced apart from the rest. You climb down into them and feed the larvae inside more frequently. This time, the substance you release is thicker, white, and chemically distinct. You do not hesitate or question the difference. These larvae are selected to become queens, and your body responds automatically, producing what they require. Along the edges of the chamber, drones remain where they are. They do not gather food or build comb. They wait. When you approach, their mouths open the same way, and you feed them as you would the others. There is no interaction beyond the exchange. You maintain them until they are no longer needed. The queen moves somewhere nearby. You sense her before you see her, and your body reacts immediately. You join a small group that surrounds her, forming a loose circle as she walks. You touch her with your antennae, clean her surface, and feed her when she pauses. A chemical signal spreads across your body, and you carry it as you move away, passing it along without direction. She continues through the comb, lowering her abdomen into empty cells and laying eggs in a steady sequence. You follow for a short time, then return to the larvae, repeating the same motions again and again without interruption. By day 12, your body changes again, and your focus shifts toward what the others bring back. You move closer to the entrance, where returning foragers arrive, coated in pollen. They brush past you and stop briefly at open cells, scraping the packed grains from their hind legs. When they leave, you take over. You lower your head into the cell and press the pollen down, mixing it with small amounts of nectar to keep it from drying out or spoiling. Over time, the texture thickens and darkens, and you move on to the next. Deeper inside the hive, open combs begin to fill with nectar. You position yourself beside other workers and begin to fan your wings in a steady, controlled motion. The air shifts across the surface of the liquid, drawing moisture away until it thickens into honey. You do not stop unless your muscles fail, and when they do, you step aside and another worker takes your place. Once the consistency is right, you produce wax from beneath your abdomen and seal the cell, closing it off from the air. In other sections, the structure itself is still being built. Small flakes of wax form along your body, and you pass them forward to other workers. They chew the material, soften it, and press it into place, extending the walls of the comb. Sometimes you assist in shaping the cells, adjusting the edges until they line into uniform hexagons. Other times you only carry material from one point to another, but the outcome remains the same. The pattern never changes. When the temperature rises, your role shifts again. You move toward the brood chamber and begin fanning your wings at a higher intensity. Other workers return with droplets of water, spreading them across surfaces and onto your body. As the moisture evaporates, heat is drawn away. You rotate positions frequently, stepping back when your energy drops and replacing another worker who has already slowed. By day 18, you are stationed at the hive entrance. You face outward, still and alert, as each returning bee approaches. You examine them through scent alone. If it matches, you allow them to pass. If it does not, you block their path without hesitation. By day 22, you leave the hive. Your body is lighter now, your wings stronger, and your movements more precise. You step to the edge, pause briefly, and then lift into the air. The ground spreads out beneath you as you follow faint chemical trails left by others. The scent of flowers builds gradually, guiding your direction without effort. You land among a patch of open blooms and begin working immediately. Your front legs scrape pollen from the surface, gathering it in small amounts before packing it onto your hind legs. You press it down until it holds its shape, then move to the next flower and repeat the process. When you lower your head, your tongue extends into the center, drawing nectar into the storage pouch inside your body. Each movement is controlled, efficient, and repeated across dozens of flowers without pause. A shift in the air interrupts the pattern. You stop moving and remain low against the petals. Something else has entered the space. You turn slightly and see it several flowers away, motionless at first, then adjusting its position. A wasp. It does not gather pollen or feed the way you do. It watches, waiting for movement. You stay where you are, but it begins to close the distance. Its steps are measured, its body angled toward yours. When it lunges, you react at the last moment, pushing off and twisting free as its legs catch yours. You pull away, but it circles back quickly and strikes again. This time it catches your wing and jerks it sideways. The membrane strains, and one of your pollen loads breaks loose and falls. You could use your stinger, but you do not. Instead, you push against it and force enough space to lift off. Your wings beat unevenly at first, then stabilize as you gain distance. The wasp follows briefly, then veers away and disappears above the field. You continue flying, but the pollen you collected is gone, and your nectar pouch is nearly empty. You return to the hive with nothing. No one reacts when you land. You deposit what little you have and leave again the next day. By day 30, the edges of your wings begin to fray. Each flight requires more effort, and each landing is less controlled. By day 35, your trips are shorter. You collect what you can, but your body no longer responds the same way. One morning, you land on a flower and pause longer than usual. You try to move, but your legs fail to grip. When you attempt to lift off, your wings do not generate enough force. You remain there, motionless, as another forager passes overhead and continues the work you can no longer do. If you are born later in the season, your path does not follow the same pattern. You do not leave the hive. Your body develops differently, larger and slower, built to endure rather than to move. As the temperature drops, you gather with the others near the center, forming a dense cluster around the queen. Your wings do not lift you anymore. Instead, your flight muscles contract in place, generating heat without motion. The outer layer of bees absorbs the cold first, and as their energy drops, they move inward while others take their place. You rotate constantly, maintaining the temperature through repetition that does not stop. This continues for months. You do not forage, and you do not build. You remain in place, conserving what you have until the environment changes. When it does, new workers begin to emerge. They take over the tasks you never performed, and your role fades as your strength declines. If you are fed differently from the beginning, your development changes entirely. Your cell is larger, and the substance you receive is not the same. It is thicker, richer, and constant. Your body responds by accelerating, restructuring into something the others are not. When you emerge, you do not join the workers. You listen. Another queen calls from somewhere inside the hive, and you move toward the sound without hesitation. You find her before she leaves her cell. You break through the wax and insert your stinger through the opening, ending her before she can emerge. If there are more, you continue until the calls stop. When one escapes, you meet in the open and fight until one of you no longer moves. When it is over, you remain. You leave the hive once to mate, storing enough to last for years. After that, you do not build, defend, or forage. You move across the comb, laying eggs in any empty space. For a time, everything holds. Then your signal weakens. The workers respond by raising another queen. When she finds you, you do not resist. The hive continues without interruption.